So you're getting shit sleep, and you want to fix it because you know how important this is. You do know how important this is, right? Sleep is important. Not only do you feel shitty whenever you don't get enough sleep, but also sleep is literally how you learn. This is how you take stuff and put it in your short-term memory into your long-term memory. That's what the process of sleep does. So if you aren't getting good enough sleep, that means that you aren't learning the things that you have been trying to learn throughout the day, whether you're in school or whether you're trying to learn something new for a job that you're having, trying to learn new skills, put new things into practice. You're always learning. And if you're not learning, that means that you aren't improving. And if you're on a self-improvement journey, then that's really shitty. You want to be constantly improving. And so sleep is a key pillar to be able to master to do this. You have to get your sleep on track, in order to be able to continue improving yourself. It's also how you refresh yourself. So speaking of feeling shitty, by getting better sleep, you're not going to feel as shitty. Right now, you don't know how shitty you feel on a regular basis because you've gotten used to it. You've gotten used to getting 6 hours of sleep every night. You've gotten used to feeling shitty every day, and now it's just your new normal. You don't know how good you can feel if you actually get 8 hours. The better the sleep you get, the more alert you're going to be, and the overall happier you're going to be, the better conversations you're going to have with people. If someone could put sleep into a drug, it would sell like billions. It would be $1 billion industry. But you can do this yourself just by making sure that you get enough sleep. It's also how you build more muscle and put on less fat. If you're not getting enough sleep, even if you're working as hard as you possibly can in your workouts, you're not going to be making the gains that you could. Because during sleep is whenever your body is producing, it's repairing your muscle tissue and making it bigger and stronger. So if you don't get sleep, you're going to start putting on the weight that you're gaining if you're bulking. Instead of as muscle, it's going to start going on as fat. My point is, most people are operating at 70%. Right now, you are operating at 70% because you don't realize that you aren't getting enough sleep. But you aren't. Imagine if you could be 30% better every day. How much more you would get done, how much happier you would feel, the better conversations you would have, the better life that you would live. So how can you tell if you're not getting enough? First of all, if you fall asleep, if you can fall asleep again before 10 a.m., you are not getting enough sleep. So like if you wake up at 7 or 8 every morning, if you could lie back down into bed at 10 a.m. and just like fall asleep again, you're not getting enough sleep. And also, if you don't feel like you can function without caffeine before 12 a.m., you're probably medicating with caffeine. 12 p.m. Yeah, noon. So if you feel like you can't function without caffeine before noon, it's because you're not getting enough sleep. So those are 2 signs to look out for. So how do you get enough sleep, Luke? I'm so glad you asked, dude. I'm so glad you asked. Stay in bed longer, because 8 hours in bed is not 8 hours of sleep. Because you're waking up throughout the night, you also don't fall asleep instantly. You have to spend time getting in bed, getting relaxed enough to fall asleep, and then having a deep enough sleep that you aren't waking up throughout the night. You aren't tossing and turning. And like you're always going to wake up a little bit throughout the night. That's just how it works. So make sure you give yourself enough time in bed, 9 to 10 hours in bed, to be sure that you actually get the proper amount of sleep. And a good tip to do this is to stay in bed for 10 hours. This is what I do personally. I stay in bed for 10 hours and I read until I'm sleepy. I read until I'm sleepy because reading just automatically makes me tired. It's a relaxing habit. Another thing you can do is meditate. Meditating is super relaxing and is probably even better for you to do than reading, but I like getting those mental gains. But meditating and reading before you sleep is a great way to relax in bed and to actually get your body ready to hit the good Z's so that you're not waking up a bunch of times in the middle of the night. Another tip, sleep in a dark, cool room. This is tip number 2. Tip number 2, Sleep in a dark, cool room, because this is how your body is the most comfortable to sleep. So 68 degrees Fahrenheit is about what I found works really great for me. But you want to make sure that your room is cool so that you can feel great under the covers. You know that amazing feeling that you get whenever it's cold outside and you finally get like under the covers of your bed when you're finally warm? That's what you want. That's what you want. You want to feel so cozy, so immensely cozy that you just knock out. Easy. Blackout curtains. I have these. I don't know if you can see them right now, but they're those right there underneath dog painting. Blackout curtains are amazing. Best college purchase I've made. So with these, you can shut them and all of the light completely is out of your room, which means if I need to take a daytime nap, because for some reason I did get shitty sleep, easy. I can do it. If I need to fall asleep before it's like the light is finished coming outside, it doesn't bother me. My neighbors have lights on their houses up for Christmas and everything. It's not Christmas anymore, but they still got the lights up. That's fine. It's really fine. It's not that big. It's fine. But they still have their lights up, so at night it shines in my window a bit. But I close the blackout curtains. Doesn't even matter. Doesn't even bother me. Keep your phone away from you and facing down. Or any alarm clocks, if you have also. Alarm clocks facing away. You don't want to see the time whenever you're trying to sleep because you're going to keep looking at it. You're going to be like, oh my God, it's 2 a.m. It's 2:30 a.m. It's 3:30 a.m. How am I still awake? You're getting more anxious and stressed about it. That's what you don't want. So don't have a clock anywhere that you can see it. And with your phone, you don't want to be seeing the light come on every time that you get a text or every time that your MyFitnessPal is like, you haven't logged your meal today. It's 1 a.m., dude. It's time for daddy to sleep. So those are my tips for sleeping in a dark, cool room. Tip number 3, sunlight exposure. So as soon as you wake up, go outside. Not even just like looking through the window at the sunlight. As soon as you wake up, walk outside and get the sun in your eyes and on your skin, because that tells your body, that tells your caveman body, it's time to get up. It's time to wake up. My biggest tip, the biggest thing that I can tell you that is going to absolutely get you zooted off of sleep, is going to bed and waking up at the same time every night, even on weekends. I will admit, I don't always follow this one. Being a college student, there's shit to do all the time. I want to go out and have fun, but most of the time, when I'm on my schedule, when I am like classes are in session, I have shit that I'm doing every morning, even on the weekends, I will try to go to bed at the same time every night and wake up at the same time every day, because that makes your body just immediately like know when it's time to be out. I go to bed at 10 p.m. every night, and my body has gotten used to that. So by the time it's 10 p.m., I just knock the fuck out. It's easy now because I've trained my body to do that. And the best part about this is you will start to automatically wake up. You don't even have to use an alarm anymore. I still do set an alarm for whenever I do need to wake up, for just to make sure that I do wake up, and so that I can be sure that I do get up even if my body doesn't wake itself up. But about 80% of the time, my body's waking itself up anyway. Right? Like I don't even need the alarm. So best case scenario is you set your alarm a little bit after you need to wake up and just start waking up naturally. Once you do start waking up naturally, right? So set an alarm clock for the first bit until you feel yourself naturally start to get up at the time you need. So those are your 4 big tips for falling asleep in minutes. Here are your action steps. 10 hours in bed, relaxing. Start tonight. When do you need to wake up? Subtract 10 hours from that. I want you in bed by that time. Keep your room dark and cool, 68 degrees. Get blackout curtains, dude. Get some blackout curtains. Get sunlight outside first thing in the morning. What I like to do is I take my coffee, I sip it outside. It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. And go to the bed at the same time every night. Take your sleep more seriously and you will be rewarded with more happiness greater productivity, and bitches. Get all the bitches, dude. Act now. Become unstoppable.